Good morning. It is Monday. I've done my check-in this morning. I don't hate how I look. Yes, it's softer, but it's more in proportion. I went and trained, even though I was so tired, and the session was amazing. I don't really know how, but it was. The reason why I'm so tired is I'm not easy to be around at the moment. Like, there's a lot going on. I'm tired a lot. I'm combative, struggling to concentrate at work. I'm not always happy with how I look. I'm not happy about my digestion. Like, on the whole, happy, but there are a few things that are making me unhappy. So I'm not the easiest person to be around. And I am getting irritable. I'm easily frustrated. And it's one of them things, it happens with what I'm doing at the moment. But we have been snappy with each other, and yesterday, after coming back from my mum and dad's, we did have a fight. Everything's okay. Couples fight, normalise it. But I am tired because I do take like arguments hard, and I take them personally, and I get upset. So last night was a late night, but I feel good today. We are good today. Everything is good today. I've done my check-in this morning. Like I said, I'm quite happy, but some of the things that I'm experiencing are not fun, and they're hitting me really hard. So there's been a couple of changes to increase the fats in my diet, just to try and balance out my hormones, because with the overactive bladder, with the hitting my digestion, with the fluctuating mood and the inability to concentrate, it's rough. So we've added in some cashews, can't remember how many, and 50 grams of avocado to my wrap meal. And I've had to sacrifice 100 calories of my free calories for this, but just to make that rate of gain easier to take and not so hard on me mentally. But it'll be worth it, because I can't continue here. I can't, it's too hard, and it's not worth it when I could just get a little bit fatter. So yeah, then them's be the changes this morning. Not ideal, not happened to me before knowingly, all of these fluctuations. But I also had a little bit of help last time because I was on the Mirena coil. So I did have some hormones pumping in through my coil. But at the minute I've got nothing. And it shows. It's very difficult. But you wouldn't catch me back on hormonal contraception ever. So can't have it always, can I? But those are the changes this morning. I'm happy with them. We'll just see how we go. I've just been to the shop to buy the avocado and cashews like you've just seen. So we'll put those in. We'll see what I can make with 250 calories. I'm being a good egg and practicing what I preach and telling myself that I will feel lots happier if I make the time to go out on my lunchtime walk, which is definitely already working. I've got a massage tonight with Katrina, which I think is probably going to be the most painful massage I will ever have, because I've still got this hamstring issue on both legs, which I've definitely been ignoring whilst I've just needed to train. I ignored it through prep on my right one, and now my left one's starting to act up in exactly the same way. So I think it is a form issue where, well, I can definitely pinpoint where I injured my right one down to the day, because I got overexcited on the hamstring curl and Ultraflex opened, so I'm talking February. But maybe the left one's been overcompensating for that, I don't know. But I'm sure I'll find out whether this is going to turn into a bigger issue tonight. I think I have strained my right one, and then potentially my left one has been overcompensating for it. But it may be something more serious, but I doubt it, because I'm able to walk around on it. Doesn't suggest any kind of tear or anything like that. And how
The first one being like an impact event and me recognising when I did it, and then the other one going the same way. I think it's probably more likely that I've got some poor form somewhere whilst I'm training and I've done the same thing across both of them. But it's a pain that I get behind my knee, so where my hamstring inserts there, and it is largely when I've been sat with my knees bent or folded. So if I'm just chilling on the sofa and I've got my knees tucked under me or next to me, it doesn't matter. Either way, it feels extremely tight when I stand back up. Even after some driving, where my knee's not really bent more than 90 degrees, but it's still having an impact. So I do need to get it sorted. But I'm not particularly worried about it at the moment, but I have been going lightly on any hamstring movements just to make sure I don't make it worse. I obviously don't want to do that. I'm doing that for the time being, but I don't want that to continue because I want to grow. And to grow, I really need to push my hamstrings to failure, which I have definitely done over the last 2 years, and I've seen the results of that, and they've really come along from my first prep to this one. So yeah, not ideal, but getting on with it anyway. That's how my evening's going to be spent, and one of the reasons why I'm getting out on my steps now. Why is it so tiny? Why are tiny things so cute? Even when it comes down to like holiday shopping and you buy your little mini shampoos and stuff, why are they so cute? I don't understand. I've just put in my chicken and rice meal, and I'm going to add 20 grams of cashews to it. I gave myself the ick a little bit with cashews in my first prep, but I think it's been long enough that they'll be okay. And I'm just going to add them on top, mix them through. I quite like adding cashews to fajitas as well, for a little bit of crunch in amongst all the wetness. But it's been a long time since I've had a fajita. I've added my 50 grams of avocado to my wrap today. For context, that is like roughly half a... What do you call that, a small avocado? I think I would. I used to fucking hate avocado. I used to think it tasted like soap. But now I add onion granules to it. It's fucking great. And actually, there was a lot more volume to that wrap because obviously it's quite thick and dense, isn't it? So I quite enjoyed it. I spent my 3 calories today on a sad bit of mango, 100 grams of mango, and 3 rice cakes with jam and peanut butter on them. And I inhaled it. When we wanted to put my food up, this is not what we imagined, but it will be helpful, I'm sure. When my 3 calories got introduced, I got really excited and was like, ooh, wonder what I'll have, and let's try and introduce some more fibrous sources so that my digestion ticks over really well. And I bought some Nutri-Grain bars, and I was so sure that I bought the Nutri-Grain bars and couldn't find them anywhere, and they must have fallen out of the bag. Maybe they're in the car, maybe I left them on the checkout. This is what I mean by the brain fog. I've just found them in the fridge for no reason. They'll be very fresh. Oh God. Wish me luck, my friends. This is gonna be shit. I know it. I know it. I've got 10 minutes to give myself up. Also, I don't know whether you can see this cat eye gel that I put on last night, but I let Maggie choose my colour this week. Yes, you heard that correctly. And I don't think I'll let her choose it again. I'm not overly sold. I don't think it's a bit of me. It's kind of cool, but I don't think it's very me. But I love her for trying to encourage me to do new things.
Later that same evening.
That was horrendous. How I didn't cry, I'm not sure. But I did chew my hands and spent most of it like this. I actually was audibly screaming. That was so bad, but so good, all at the same time. I've never had a massage so painful. So painful. I had needles in my arse, needles in my hamstrings. She was sticking her thumbs in me where she's never stuck her thumbs in me before. Oh, it were bad. But I can bend my legs again, so 10 out of 10 would recommend. If you are in the Lincoln area, don't know whether I have any subscribers that are local to me, do not skip out on that woman, Katrina Bullimore. She is the best at what she does. And now the snotty nose has started. Lots of reasons why that could have been happening to me with my hamstrings and the tightness there. My quads are very, very tight. I should be training them tomorrow. I'm not gonna. She told me to ease off them for a couple of days, so I'm not going to do that. I will do delts, I'll do something else, but I'm not doing that again. I'm going to let what she's just done have its, you know, desired effect and rest them and do my best to support what she's just done. Could be many reasons for it. I've been a bit of a dick and when I've been going out on my steps on prep, and sometimes just in general, I've been going down to the shop and out and about in just sliders and stuff, and that could have made them tight because obviously you scrunch your toes up to keep your sliders on your feet, which can pull on your quad. What was some of the other reasoning? Just general dehydration around show days and stuff can make everything very sticky. Going back to training to failure could have been an overcompensation. She did say that that was a possibility from my other hamstring, but I don't know and I don't care. All I know is I can bend my legs and sit on my knees. She has given me some stretches to do. She's also said that if I don't want to, obviously I will do these stretches at the gym. She's also said that if I want to, at home, I can sit with a rolling pin. I've got a pulse roll ball and I've got a pulse roll gun, but I cry when Andy uses that gun on my calves, so I can't see me doing very well with it on my quads. But she did recommend that if I want to use the gun on my quads, I can go at them on an angle and kind of ease my way into being able to have the gun on top of my quads. They're very sensitive to stuff like that, as are my calves. But she said starting off at that kind of angle can be really good for getting up to here. She also said that if I want to, I can stretch my leg out on the sofa and rolling pin my quads. It's the same kind of thing. I'm using a rolling pin from the top of it to the knee, and if I get to a knot, I just have to sit there, get the rolling pin right behind the knot and just extend my foot out and straighten my leg whilst it's there to try and get the knot through. So yeah, a tip for if you've got tight quads is grab yourself a rolling pin. But she recommended the couch stretch and the and sitting on my knees and leaning back and stretching my quads out that way. So yeah, I've got a little bit of homework to do, but I've booked in with her again already because I'm being a very good girl and keeping on top of it in my off season.
Good morning, it is Tuesday. I am on the Old Colleague Court and I've had the most hectic morning, which I'll catch you up on once I've got plenty of steps in on this one, because I don't think I'm going to get a chance to get out for the rest of the day because we've got an ongoing incident. Being a good gal, I'm wearing suitable footwear for my little trudge around the village following my massage last night. So easy to just chuck sliders on, but actually what are you doing to your alignment by doing that? Ugh, I'm not prepared to find out. Also, I want the heat wave back because this is gross.
I can't take my hair seriously. It is 6 p.m. I've only just finished work. It's been a very intense day of trying to respond to something in Wigan and sending people out onto site, so I have not picked up the camera once, apart from when I was on my walk this morning, which I'm very glad I did because I'm on 6,328 steps, so that's pretty good. I will go out and finish those. I think I need to do a little bit of shopping, so I'll go out and do that probably. Maybe, don't know. This morning I got up and trained a bit of an amalgamation of an upper session. I still included the stuff from my quads and delts session. I just didn't touch any leg equipment. I did some chest, I did some back. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. My weights were strong. My strength was in a really good place. Yesterday, my strength was really good and I matched that, so happy with it. And even better considering I did some movements today that I did yesterday and was training the same muscle groups back to back. So I'm really pleased with that. I will get back into filming my training. I've just not been thinking about it. I've just been going in and getting shit done. But I do enjoy filming like bits of training. Sorry, I'm looking over there as well because I've got my oats on the hob. But yeah, it's been an intense day today. I'm glad it's rest day tomorrow. I am going to go and get some cardio and some steps in the morning. And then hopefully there'll be no incidents tomorrow. That would be great. And do you know what else happened this morning? I always have a spare pair of heels with me in my gym bag, but when I was training, I was like, my stomach doesn't look as bloated today. I look quite good. And I went in the posing room. It was the first time, other than at the weekend doing a posing class for a friend, that I've looked at myself posing and was just like, I'm really happy with that and how I look and everything. Like, my composition was really good. My waist looked how I would expect my waist to look, and I was just dead chuffed. And that feels very nice. But it looks like shit now. Honestly, today, another one. It just feels like I'm eating on top of eating on top of eating and not hungry. Looking forward to my meals because I like the taste of them, but not hungry in any way. And looking a bit prego again. Bon appetit. Lovely. Right then, Wednesday, and I've been up, finished my cardio for the week and done about 4,000 steps. So happy with that. I will get out on a walk at lunchtime and I should have that absolutely polished off. Woke up this morning and looked at my Oura ring, and it's hard because you don't want to be obsessive with it, but you are interested in the data if you look after yourself and you are doing something like, you know, like this. Whether it's a hobby, whether it's like a more serious hobby, whether you're trying to go for pro and all that kind of stuff, it is interesting and you can get caught up in it. I had a major strain alert this morning, like telling me that my body is under major strain today, and the symptom tracker has caught that. I didn't feel particularly great last night, I must admit. After I'd finished work and done all my shit, I sorted my supplements out, did the washing up, and about 7 o'clock, I laid on the sofa with my creamy and did nothing else. And I actually fell asleep there and napped from 9 till midnight. And Andy was like, you need to go to bed. And I took myself off up to bed and then went straight to sleep and woke up at 6. So I've had a very good, albeit broken, but a good amount of sleep. And it's still popped up with this major strain today. I had a stomach ache when I was lying on the sofa, and I'd had like that burning sensation in my tummy throughout the day, but I'm trying not to obsess over what point in my cycle I might be at, because that is only gonna push it back. If I'm causing unnecessary stress to myself, that thing ain't gonna appear. Yeah, it's been a weird one, and my weight has jumped up massively this morning. It jumped up yesterday at, I think, 65.4. I think on Monday on my check-in, it was like 64.7 or something. Yesterday was 65.4. Today it's in the 66s. And there's no reason for it to jump up that high. Yes, we've got some extra avocado and nuts in there, but that is just not enough to warrant that jump. I had my massage on Monday, but again, like, if anything, I would have been inflamed yesterday, and then potentially, you know, that would have come off today. So I don't know, I'm just going to ride it out. I feel fine. apart from that pain that I've had, and I did have that a little this morning, but nothing that's putting me out of action today, because I've just gone and done everything. And sometimes you can get too invested in what the Oura Ring data says. If it tells you to take a rest day, you could be like, oh, I better drop everything that I'm doing today and go and do that. And actually, that's just not life. Like, you can't run your life around what a ring says about your elevated temperature in the night when it's, you know, warm and stuff like that. You just can't. You just got to go on how you feel. Tomorrow I might be really ill and it's actually picked up on it early, but at the minute I feel okay, and it is a rest day, so I haven't trained. I've just got my cardio finished and done some steps. We'll see how that transpires, but I'm looking forward to my food today. I love my rest day food, it's my favourite. So I'm going to get to Sainsbury's and pick up a couple of bits on the way home and then go and eat that. Okay, so one of my things this week, since my free calories have been reduced to 250, I've been trying to see how far I can stretch it, particularly on a training day, because I am that bit hungrier, and I'm impressed with this one. That is like a whole little meal. So there's a slice of the Danish white bread, the Warburton's one, which is a low calorie bread on there. There's 2 chicken sausages and an egg and 2 grams of butter. And I know that sounds like pathetic, but for such a small slice of bread, it's not too bad. And I could have put that in the egg and scrambled it if I wanted to. But 250 calories, I think it's 256. Pfft. I'm really impressed with how I'm managing to stretch this out. So I've just realised that there is 125 grams of rice or pasta, whatever, in my meal 3 on a rest day. And it's been like that since the 5th of June, but I hadn't noticed. So I've been having it without this entire time. And I think it's the 15th or 16th of July. 16th. Oh well, that is something that I'll leave out now till I get the go ahead to bump food up again, because I haven't been having it and my weight's been climbing, so let's just leave it as it is. I'm just about to have this chicken, veg and rice meal, which now has extra virgin olive oil in it to increase my fats. Now what I was actually coming on to say is that on a training day this meal gets an inject of cashew nuts, and I don't mind them, but I kind of overdid them in my last prep, like I said. So what I did this morning is picked up some 100% cashew nut butter. So there's nothing else in it but cashews. So if there are almonds in your plan, you're not really asked. If you can get a 100% almond butter and it is just almonds, that's all it contains, use that instead. So that is what I'll do tomorrow when I have my cashews. I did get the nut butter upgrade that I wanted. Would just rather if it had been peanut, but never mind. I also had the avocado in my wrap again, and it is just so much nicer. So much nicer. I just whack loads and loads of onion granules in it and it's delish. I've done a few errands on my walk today and I'm on 7,041 steps, so I'll do a few more steps later on. Then that is me done for the day, which is really nice. I am probably going to tan, shave, do all of that malarkey and chill out, because my stomach is still very sore today for reasons unknown. And I'm just trying to like half listen to my Oura Ring telling me to chill out today. I would normally be on a rest day tomorrow, but I am going away this weekend to see my best friend in London. So I'm going to cram in both of my sessions that I would have, one at the weekend, one Friday, into Thursday and Friday. So I'm going to be training pull and somewhat hams tomorrow. It'll be light on the hams, but they'll get moving. I think that's how I'm going to approach it and just see how they feel after that and whether this pain continues. It doesn't feel 100% fixed, I'll be honest. In my right one feels much better. My left one, there's still a little something behind the knee, which is a little bit annoying. and probably means that I'll have to have it looked at. Never mind. I do feel like I keep going through, I've been through different phases today with my personality. Like 1 minute I've got one and I am me, and then the next minute I do not. I'm over this roller coaster, if I'm honest. Okay, 2 things. I've just put myself out there with the girls that have inquired about makeup and sent them all the information, and they've started firing over their deposits, and I'm like, oh my fucking God, I'm actually doing this. So there's that. Very exciting. I'm a little bit nervous, but I know I'm so capable. Like, I do it all the time. So it's not like I can't do this thing. It's just like I'm fucking doing this thing. So that's exciting. Also, as you can hear my creamy trying to take off in the background, my creamy's been on the blink for a little while, where it won't come out once it's spun, and I have to unclip the tub and take it out, and then I'm just left with the blade and the top still attached, and I'm having to get that off. So I was fucking done with that. It only happens like sporadically. It's not happening all the time. I rang my mum about it, not because I'm like, Mum, but because she ordered it. And it's still within the warranty. I think I spoke to her about that on Saturday. There's already a new one at her house for me. So I'm pretty impressed with that. I'm going to go and pick that up tomorrow and do some daughter tech support with my mum and dad, because they've got some new phones. Anyone else still doing that? Fucking hell. iPhones could not be more simple to sort out nowadays, but, you know, still on hand for tech support. I've got my check-in tomorrow. I don't even know what to say about it. It'll be what it'll be. My weight just keeps climbing, but I'm positive that I am in the luteal phase. Whether I have a bleed or not, I don't know, but all of the signs and all of my kind of looking at timings and looking at symptoms, that's what I've got. So whatever. Thursday. It's Thursday and I filmed a session. It was a be careful because that thing don't feel right session, but it was a session. It's pretty good. I enjoyed it. Like, I think at the minute some of it is just not going to be all that and a bag of chips. My check-in this morning, whoa, okay, so my weight has jumped dramatically by about 2 kilos from Monday. It's been climbing all week. Today it's even more. I'm in the 66s, nearly 67 today. But in my check-in, my composition looks better than it has done at the start of the week, like through my legs and my back and everything. So again, I'm positive that all of this shit is cycle related. Last night when I was writing my check-in, I felt really hot and like I just needed to go to bed. I went to bed at 10. I was up at 5:15 to get this in and to get my check-in in, eat my oats and, you know, make sure that I had time to do a little bit of cardio, which I did. I did 15 minutes and then I did 10 minutes walking. So I'm gonna not dwell on it because I don't think it's a permanent thing, or my weight will hold there until my body actually catches up with when it's kind of supposed to be there, if you know what I mean. It's very difficult not knowing what's going on, but I'm positive from some symptoms yesterday that I am in the pre-period, which would make sense from the God, I out myself so much on this channel, discharge that I had a couple of weeks ago. I can tell that the discharge that I have at this point is that pre-period discharge. That's the female body. You can read it. That'll be too much for someone, but that's it. I've got no other data to go off. I've also, whilst I'm outing myself, and I'm sure other girls will relate, I have got some dark hairs on my boobs and they've come out of nowhere. Isn't it weird? Like, your boobs will look like your boobs, which, by the way, actually this week have noticed my boobs have got bigger. And again, I don't know whether that is just some nice fat distribution or whether that is cycle related. My boobs do get bigger when I'm due on. Got some nice dark hairs on my boobs, and I mean dark hairs, and they just pop up out of nowhere. You don't have them, and then you do, and they're long, and you think, how have I missed that? How have I not realised that's there? But they're just there, and that is another sign for me that stuff's going on. So I'm gonna get home and have a shower and pluck my boob hairs. This is fast becoming my favourite meal. Look at how dense that avocado is. Had some feedback from Amy. She too was like, what the fuck, where has that weight jump come from? Can't see it on me. Very happy with how I'm looking. Actually thinks this is a nice place to kind of hold my weight. That would be really nice, but I feel like my body's going to need to push up a little bit more to be happier, given how it is at the minute. However, we shall see. It's just going to be a watch and wait. I checked in on Monday and my weight was 64 point whatever it was, and today it's 2 kilos up. We know that in the 4 days since then, that is not body fat. It's just not. It cannot possibly be. I haven't eaten in any way that could force that to happen. You have to eat a lot of calories for that to be a thing. So I'm not worried about it. Know that it will come back down. Just seeing whether the period happens, because this looks, I know I've banged on about it, but all the signs are there. And actually, looking back on my data this morning, we both had a look at it. Between the 16th and 18th is when I would normally expect to have one, and it's the 17th today. We'll see. I don't think so. I think it's just giving me all the shit but none of the payoff, if I'm honest. Good morning, it's Friday. I don't feel great. I've had some really bad stomach pains this morning. And last night I finished work at about
3:30, 4 o'clock. Took some time back to go over to my mum's and set up everybody's new iPhone. What time did I get home? Fucking 9, because none of them did what you'd expect them to do. One of them got locked for an hour because it thought it was being stolen. So my nice take some time back, don't be stressed, turned into a whole lot of stress. I've woken up today and I'm in a lot of pain. My scale weight is still the same as yesterday. I'd be really surprised if I didn't have a bleed this month. I know you're probably sick of hearing it, but this does feel like what my body's gearing up to do at the minute. Would explain the crazy scale jump anyway. So yeah, I'm just getting my pre-down me. I'm sure this leg session will be fantastic. No. But I'm going to go into it thinking it's going to be fantastic. Therefore it will. Right? Waking up to some new deliveries. We've got some new Atlantis kit. Where is the rest of it? There's some more here. We've got another Atlantis extension. I believe there's a new leg press. Shaping up very nicely. My new creamy. That session was rough. That session was really rough. But I did it and I was happy to get in there and move. Because it was lower, I was taking it steadier. I pushed it in places where I felt like I could. I didn't have any pain. I'm still experiencing the pain though and the discomfort in the backs of my knees. But whilst I'm actually training, I don't feel it. But I'm very aware that it's a thing and I need to not. But I actually did some kickbacks and hamstring work today and it didn't feel terrible. So I'm taking that as a positive. I didn't do any cardio, and I didn't do any cardio for 2 reasons. Not that I'm justifying it. I don't have to do it anyway. But it was so fucking hot in there. And usually I'm okay, but because I'm running hotter now as a result of whatever's going on hormonally over the weekend, I struggled in there. It was 25 degrees in the gym. We've got no aircon. And 25 is not so bad. Like, it's been 28 and I've been fine doing cardio in it. But today it was like, it was a struggle. And also cardio is an extra stressor on the body naturally, because you're pushing your heart rate up. So I thought to encourage things along and keep my body in a less stressed state, I would drop it out today. But I think that is a pretty good idea at the minute. Whether I'll get back to it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll see what happens. But I'm just trying to do what is right for trying to encourage things along at the moment, regardless of, you know, me wanting to. Friday lunchtime steps. And steps thoughts today are my targeted ads on Instagram are all boob jobs and lip stains. And I feel like Instagram is just trying to fucking kick me while I'm down. Like, I know my top lip has not returned. Who knew you could lose subcutaneous fat from your lip? Like, specifically a lip, not both, just one. And I know my tits are small. At some point I will get them done. But your girl wants to have a couple of babies. Maybe one, maybe 2. And there is just no point in me doing that outside of having babies, because they will change. Like, I have not liked, genuinely, since losing so much weight in such a short space of time back in 2018, I've not liked my boobs since then, really. And, you know, that was 7 years ago. I can live with it a little bit longer. In off season, they're not too bad, but prep, they are bothersome. But, like, I'm not sitting at home crying about it. They're just a pair of tits. Yeah, they were some of my lunchtime thoughts. Like, get off my back, Instagram. Leave me alone. I'm already a little bit vulnerable right now. And my second one was, and now
I am not yet a mum, so I'm sure this makes parents even angrier than it makes me right now. Parents in the UK, don't know where you're watching this from, but parents in the UK get charged like a fine for taking their kids out of school in term time. And like, be angry about that, be supportive of that. I'm not trying to sway anyone either way. But this week we live opposite school. This week I've seen kids take in board games. They're just playing outside. Like, what are they learning? What are they learning? But it's going to cost like £120 a day to take them out of school. Fucking hell, honestly. I feel like I'm going to be an angry mum. Just pulled £120 a day out my arsehole. I don't know whether that's actually legit. But fucking hell, come on. Like, what are they doing this week? Nothing. I just had to do a run out mid sorting my shit out for travelling to go to Sainsbury's, because half of the things that I needed I didn't have, and I don't even understand how, because I'm in there like 3 times a week. But anyway, I've finished my check-ins tonight. It didn't take me as long because a few of the girls are on holiday. And do you know what else I've done tonight? I actually had to give one of the girls a warning, and I've not done that before, like properly done that before. But her check-in was late, and it's not the first time that her check-in has been late. And don't get me wrong, I'm a very reasonable person. I hope I would come across that way on here. If you talk to me, if you tell me that there's going to be a problem, that's fine. But I do have rules with check-ins that they are in by 9:30. And the reason for that is because I dedicate my Friday evening to client work. I very rarely do anything on a Friday evening because I'm sorting client stuff out. And if there's any changes that I need to make to any plans, that's when I do it, so that they get responses really quickly. Because this isn't my full-time job. I have a full-time job. I do this because I want to. I want to see people succeed and I want to help them. But if you are late, like consecutive weeks, you don't want it. You don't actually want my help. You don't want to help yourself if you can't stick to a 9:30 cut-off. And it is disrespectful to my time and the effort that I put into everything. So I gave the final warning today. And I'm really proud of myself for that and for having the boundary, because it's not about money. My coaching business is not about money. It's about helping people. And that, to me, it just really winds me up. And I think most coaches probably need to express a little bit of that and have better boundaries. But yeah, there are consequences to your actions, or not actions, as this may be. But yeah, that's been my evening. I'm going to have this. I'm going to shower, wash my hair, tan, pack, and that's going to be it. Good morning. It's Saturday. I'm up. It's 20 to 7, and this is the current state of the kitchen. Boop. I'm still feeling extremely bloated. I still look extremely bloated. My weight hasn't budged really. It's still in the 66s. I have got some more symptoms this morning. Like I don't feel like I'm out the other side yet for sure. It's just gonna be a waiting game. I'm on the road already. Just been to Starbucks and they've got no cold brew. And this woman chose violence today when she made that iced Americano. This is probably really obvious, but iced Americanos are still prep friendly, but they are more bitter. So if you are allowed sweeteners, which most people on prep are, get extra sugar-free syrup in that. Otherwise it tastes like the ground. This still tastes like the ground, but that's because she fucking skimped me on my almond milk. Yes, I'm still getting prep friendly drinks because I'd rather eat my calories. I'm still feeling pretty garbage, but nothing a weekend with your best mate won't sort out. We just got soaked through in the rain. and we've stopped off at Westfields to have a little shop around and just chat and catch up and eat some fucking food. I'm starving. Aaron has a neck massager. We've had a very nice day, and this is a great end to it. Hello, it is Sunday. What was the point in making so much effort with my makeup today when I knew that on the way home from London I was going to stop off at the gym and do some cardio? Don't know, but I did it anyway. I have had the nicest weekend. Yesterday, I got to Aaron's at about 11 o'clock. We caught up, we went for coffee, we went shopping, got caught in the worst rain ever, to the point where my tan, even though I'd washed it off, has gone all over my favourite Vinted Zara trousers. Absolutely gutting. I'm sure they'll be fine. If they're not, doesn't matter, because when we went to Westfield, I picked up some Zara absolute bargains from their return rail. They were 60% off. I've got a beautiful yellow and orange dress for like £11. I've got 2 pairs of trousers. Amazing. So we went shopping, then we went and got some food. I pulled out one meal and had some extra free calories for that. However, I did go over yesterday. We were just enjoying the day so much. I was like, do you know what? This is fine. It's a one-off. I think I have a reasonable relationship with food, but I am in this battle of keep a very tight off season and enjoy how I look and look good and grow with as little body fat as possible. But then I'm also like fucking done with restricting myself, and I just want a little bit of freedom, and I'm battling the two at the minute. So every time I am spontaneous and do a little bit of that, I have not enormous food guilt, but I felt bad about it. And actually, when you think about what I had yesterday, I cut out my beef meal, so I had that jerk chicken wrap at Hackney Bridge, and I had two beers, and I had a few gummies, sour kiwi gummies that we got from an Asian supermarket, and I had a small bar of Galaxy that I put on my porridge in the evening. So I was off plan and deliberately off plan, but I could have been a lot worse. Do you know what I mean? I was just enjoying the day. Today we went to Victoria Market. Slow Sundays in London are like my absolute favourite. We got up, went for coffee again, walked with our coffees to Victoria Park Market. I picked up a croissant and I had that as my free calories. Was it under 250? No, but almond croissants from Starbucks are between 3 and 350, I think, because that's where I got that logic from. I was like, I don't know what anything else here is, but if I'm going to get something nice and treat yourself as an off plan, it's going to be from here. And that's what I chose, because I knew that near enough it wasn't fucking 500, 600 calories. And I've done all my steps for the day. That's where we kind of left it. I've come home and I've done some cardio. I've stuck to plan the rest of the day. I've caught up on a couple of meals. I just had my chicken and veg before I went in there. And when I get home, I'll have my beef and rice meal. But I don't feel bad today, but yesterday I did. And I need to work on that, because I need to have a little bit of that balance that off-season gives me without feeling terrible about it. I think it's harder at the minute because we're working out whatever is going on with my cycle. Speaking of, I took my DIM supplement out this morning. Amy messaged me and was like, have you still got DIM in? And I was like, yeah. I've kept it in this entire time. And she was like, take it out and we'll see whether that makes a difference, because I have that in there to kind of balance my estrogen out and to help with my hormones and how bad my moods and everything get around my cycle. So we're raw dogging with no dim supplement, and we'll see whether that helps bring anything along. But this morning and today, I've not had the pains. I've not had the kind of upset tummy and things moving around like I have had into the weekend. And I am a bit disappointed that it's not happened so far. No, I shouldn't be thinking about it as much as I am, which is probably not helping, but I can't help it. It's very hard to shake. Especially when all of the up and down is making me feel so fucking terrible the rest of the time. It's very much at the forefront of my mind because it's making me feel so shitty in and around it. And my digestion is, or has been, poor, but actually over this weekend, it's been great. Right, home to my husband. And maybe I stop off at Lidl for some yogurt because I'm going to make up all my creamies for the next few days because I've got my new creamie and it works. Thankfully, Thursday me made up one for this evening so I can have that back. So not only did I find some amazing bargains at Zara at Westfield, by the way, when it comes to me buying new clothes, and I feel like I need to justify this because I am such a Vinted queen, they were so cheap I wouldn't have been able to get them cheaper on Vinted. Like, it was such a bargain. Such a bargain. But I also, whilst I was there, picked up some little bits from Sephora to add to my makeup kit for clients for shows. I've got a few palettes on the way and a few different bits coming. Now, this Sephora mascara is mine. This is a brown mascara, which I'm obsessed with at the minute. But I picked up the size up, so with clients I will have to use disposable spoolies because you would never cross-contaminate, and all of these things will be used with either brushes or disposable like applicators. So I love this mascara. It's perfect and really well priced for kind of show day makeup. I picked up 4 of the Sephora liquid lipsticks, which are brilliant. A matte lip will always last a lot longer on show day, but I have got some glosses that I'm going to invest in as well from some different brands that I like. But Sephora are really good payoff makeup wise for a still not a cheap price point, but these are about £13 each, I think. So I bought some of those so that I can do a very nice red ombre lip and a nude lip, along with some of the liners that I've got that are darker, which can emphasize some of these colors and either use them as ombres or for the full lip color. I also bought some of these, which I'm really excited about. Now, these are multi-chrome liquid eyeshadows, and they are very much like the Natasha, is it Natasha Denona? These are much cheaper. I think these were about £12 each. But look at those. And I've also got the foil films made by Mitchell. So I'm really excited about these. I know, very excited about those. And I got a little free gift because I fucking spent a fortune in there, but it will all be worth it, all be worth it. I still got some extra bits that I need to pick up for my makeup kit for shows, which I'll be building over the next few weeks because I've got my first client on the 9th of August for the Two Bros Lincoln show. But yeah, I'm feeling really, really excited about it. Really excited about it. And I'll show you what I'm picking up for my kit as things arrive and as I buy them. Because if you'd like me to do your makeup for shows this year, I'm on it.